When you're almost famous, you just might find yourself live on air on WATD. Hour 2 of Almost Famous begins now.
Welcome to the Almost Famous Tiny Stage Hour here on 95.9 WATD, introducing you to independent bands and musicians from across New England every Tuesday night, brought to you by Tiny & Sons Glass. My name is John Shea, and tonight we're being joined in studio by singer-songwriter Paul DeChambeau. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
My pleasure. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
For those who might not be familiar with you, Paul, give us an introduction.
Okay, I'm from Whitman, I guess that's what people say. Been around music my whole life. My dad played tenor sax. He was quite good, and so I was lucky to have that. I didn't really get into music till much later in my life. I wrote my first song in 2007, and then released my first album in 2018, and I'm on the doorstep of releasing my next one. I'm just waiting for a CD baby to get the capital C in my name, quite frankly.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And who do we have joining you in studio this evening?
We have Aaron Carey on guitar, and we have Greg Manero on the upright bass.
Awesome, guys. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And who do we not have here tonight?
His dog, Rosie.
That's right.
And isn't there somebody named Kevin?
Yeah. We have a mutual friend, Kevin Smith, and
yes.
We couldn't attract him tonight, so I think he was unavailable. Let's put it that way.
Yes. I think he's shooting pool or something. But yeah, so for those who might know Kevin Smith, or for those who don't know Kevin, he hosts the open mic at the Stoughton House of Brews in Stoughton. So I would advise anybody listening to go and give him a hard time on Thursday over at the open mic.
And hopefully he's listening tonight.
Yes, hopefully he is too. So Paul, where can people track you down online?
I have a website called pauldechambeau.com. I have a YouTube page under my name, and there's a Facebook band page also with my name as well.
Awesome. And spell DeChambeau for us, if you would.
Yeah, DeChambeau.
Fantastic.
Thanks,
Well, let's not waste any time. Let's start with your first song tonight. What are we listening to kick off the show?
This is Crush on You, a song I wrote about my wife and being lucky enough to have a great relationship for a lot of years with her.
All right, 95.9 WATD. Paul DeChambeau is on the tiny stage. It's all yours.
There are times maybe I don't show it like I care. Maybe don't feel young and pretty like you should. You may wonder if I still feel the rapture that we share. Do I still think about you when you're not there? You just gotta know it's up for me to show. I still got a crush on you. Very first time we met, crush on you, and I'm still not over it yet. Crush on you, Romeo and Juliet. Crush on you. Don't trust the mirror, it doesn't really see you like I do. And the things you've been thinking just aren't true. You look around, maybe start to feeling a little blue. And you wonder if I'm looking for someone new. You just gotta know it's up for me to show that I still got a crush on you. Crush on you. Very first time we met, crush on you, and I'm still not over it yet. Crush on you, like Romeo and Juliet. Crush on you. Hey. people think that happiness is something bought or sold. Sometimes this world can leave me feeling alone and cold. But I know you are with me everywhere I go. Rest assured, you're as beautiful as anything I know. You just gotta know it's up for me to show. Ooh, I still got a crush on you. Crush on you. The very first time we met, crush on you. And I'm still not over you yet. Crush on you. Like Romeo and Juliet. Crush on you. Crush on you. Very first time we met, crush on you. And I'm still not over you yet. Crush on you. Like Romeo and Juliet. Crush on you. Take us out.
And we have Paul DeChambeau joining us on the tiny stage this evening on 95.9 WATD. Great job on that.
Hey, thanks very much.
Talk about how that song was written. I know it was written about your wife, but tell us how that kind of came about.
Well, I mean, you know, most of my songs just start with me strumming something on the guitar or picking something, and then usually a melody comes first and maybe a phrase. And I don't honestly remember exactly, you know, how the whole thing came out, but I know that what the feeling was behind it, which was it's nice to have somebody that, you know, that after an extended period of time, you can still have a genuine young type of love feeling for someone, a crush, if you will. You know, that's basically where it came from. And when I made a video for it, I included some other folks with pictures of kind of when they were together young, and then 25 years later. So it was kind of a fun project to do.
That's awesome. So you mentioned in the first part of the interview that you didn't start writing songs until somewhat recently. What made you start writing?
Well, I had a guitar when I was like 15, 16, and I just didn't have the discipline to play it. So then it was around, but I just didn't play it. Then sometime later in life, I don't really know what triggered it, honestly, but I just started trying, and then it came fairly quick, and then I started to write songs, and I wrote poetry in high school, and so I always had this, inclination to write. So I think the two things went together pretty well for me.
And the CD Wonder is sort of in pre-production at the moment, but what is available currently from you, Paul?
Well, my first CD, More Than Meets the Eye, came out in 2018. That's up on all the places that people stream stuff and download stuff. And the other one, Wonder, it should be out, within 2 or 3 days. They told me like 5 days, a couple days
awesome.
ago.
Well, that's soon. Okay, yeah. That's fantastic. And that's going to be available up on the usual Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah, the usual suspects, yeah.
Awesome. And available at some upcoming gigs, I understand, too.
Yeah. If I can recall, February 1st, I'll be at Mamma Mia's in Carver. On February 7th, I'll be at Katie's in Marshfield. And then on March 13th, I'll be down at Crispy's in Bridgewater.
Awesome. And introduce the band, too, again, if you would.
Okay, we have on guitar, we have Aaron Carey. Aaron, tell us about your bands.
The main one I have right now is The Breaks, and we're kind of leaning heavy towards the 80s kind of stuff, just keeping it fun, that kind of thing. It's cool. We got a show coming up. I can get you the date in a minute. It's not on the top of my head. But there's another band called The Scene, which is similar type of thing. Sort of just fun rock kind of stuff. And, that's pretty much what we're doing right now.
Cool. And Aaron, that's a very interesting electric you're playing. What is that? I don't see a Fender logo on this, so I'm guessing it's not
a
Fender.
Nash guitar. They focus on recreating some of the old 50s and 60s kind of style Fender guitars and things like that. So they do a real good job of doing like relicing, they call it. So if you come and look at it, it looks like it's an old like 50s or 60s guitar.
Nice.
And you can actually, they call it, I forget, relicing, the aging, all the different companies have different names for it, but this is the light version. So you can get one that looks like it was dragged behind a truck on the highway for like 20 miles.
Yeah,
so.
Kind of has that like Mark Knopfler look to it.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's a very, very awesome guitar. I'm lucky that I got, somehow came towards me and I just grabbed it, so it's good for this stuff.
Nice. And with the exception of Greg in there, you guys have some interesting gear that's kind of helping you along. Talk about what you're using for your setup in there.
Okay. It's a PRS Archon combo amp. It's 25 watts. And it's just got that really good rock tone, nice clean, and it's a tube amp, which is nice to get that because you can crank it up. And I also got some effects for delays and reverbs and stuff like that. So if you hear any of that, that's going through a TC Electronics Nova system.
Nice.
Then the usual, like wah pedal and tuner and all that kind of good stuff. So nothing too special, kind of standard, but I like it.
Does it go to 11?
It did, but I actually modded it to go to 12.
All right.
And it almost blew up, so I had to back it down.
Yeah. We had no exploding drummers.
Yeah, you never know.
Exactly. Speaking of drummers, who is playing drums in there?
He's really reliable. He doesn't have a name. We just call him Drummer. But he's always there when we need him, and he's very, very inexpensive and no drug issues. So.
Now, are those pre-programmed, Paul, or did you sample those yourself?
There's a bunch of patterns inside this thing, but you have to search through it and find the pattern that's appropriate for the song. If you're doing a cover song, you try to match that. And if not, then it's just kind of part of the process of, like I said, playing chords on the guitar. But it's pretty versatile. I use a pedal to shut it on and off to kind of simulate fills because it doesn't really do that. But
awesome.
It actually does have a name. It's the RT223, so it's very Star Wars.
Yes, sounds like it.
It's made by Zoom, and it's not made anymore, actually. So,
so an antique.
Yeah, like me.
We have Paul DeChambeau on the tiny stage tonight on 95.9 WATD. Time for another song. What are we listening to next?
It's off my new one. It's called Believe. It's a song just, to help people with whatever issue they have to try to have some faith that things are going to work out all right.
Sounds great. We have Paul DeChambeau and the band here on 95.9 WATD. It's all yours.
Lots of people out there searching, hoping they can find their way. No one has all the answers. This is why I say, maybe you believe in magic, maybe you believe in love, maybe you believe in heaven, in the stars above. Maybe it doesn't even matter, 'cause all you got to do is believe, believe. Lots of people out there lonely, hoping they can find someone. They wonder if it's gonna happen. Well, this is what I said. Maybe you believe in magic, maybe you believe in love, maybe you believe in heaven, in the stars above. Maybe it doesn't even matter, 'cause all you got to do is believe, believe. Lots of people out there hurting. Hoping we can all be saved. It's getting hard to keep the faith. This is why I say maybe you believe in magic. Maybe you believe in love. Maybe you believe in heaven, in the stars above. Maybe it doesn't even matter, 'cause all you got to do is take a chance, whatever you do. Have some faith, it'll happen for you. It's not too late, you know that it's true.
Fantastic. Paul DeChambeau is on the tiny stage tonight here on 95.9 WATD. Take us through how that song was written, if you would.
It'll probably sound similar to the other story. I think I just started with the chords and the drum beat, and I said, I just wanted something positive to lift people up. My last album touched on a few more serious things that so I just want to take a different direction with this CD, and I think I did accomplish that, and I think people will have a smile on their face after listening to it. So yeah, this was just trying to give people some hope, and that if they just whatever their journey is, whatever their problem is, if they could just believe that things might work out for them.
That's great. Now, how do you think your songwriting has evolved from the last CD to this one?
Well, I guess that's a tough question. I don't know if it's evolved, significantly. I think that the message that I'm trying to convey on the songs I chose for this CD represent a change, but some of the songs are ones I just haven't used. I got a bunch of songs, and I'm just trying to figure out which ones should be on any subsequent CD. I pull some from the old pile, and then some new ones that I wrote. And these aren't even all the newest ones, but I just thought they worked together cohesively.
That's awesome. So there's enough left over for disc number 3.
4 and 5 too.
And
yeah.
4 and 5.
Yeah.
Awesome. Paul, give us your website again, if you would.
It's pauldechambeau.com. That's Paul and then DeChambeau.
Awesome. Paul, we are up against our first break of the night, but we have more music and more stories to tell right here on Almost Famous on 95.9 WATD.
We're your radio station, the South Shore's 95.9 WATD.
And welcome back to Almost Famous on 95.9 WATD, introducing you to independent bands and musicians from across the region, here on the South Shore, into Boston, across New England, brought to you each week by Tiny & Sons Glass. This is the Tiny Stage Hour. My name is John Shea. We're being joined in studio tonight by Paul DeChambeau. How's it going?
It's going well, thank you.
My pleasure. You sound great tonight.
Oh, thanks. You're too kind.
And introduce who you have in studio with you this evening.
Well, I'm very fortunate that I have an upright bass player with us. His name's Greg Monero. He's a friend of my wife's, and he doesn't even like this music. I don't mean mine personally, but he's a great jazz player, and he plays in a jazz quartet. But he was nice enough and talented enough to step right in and make us sound better. So we really appreciate that.
Excellent. And who else?
We have Aaron Carey. He owns a dog named Rosie, and that's
probably my biggest accomplishment in life.
Best thing about him.
We like dogs. You should have brought Rosie here.
Rosie's awesome. She is absolutely awesome.
Yeah,
she's a sweet
She'd be
dog.
talking to us.
Big dog people here at the radio station. We
really?
always have dogs running around here during the day. So.
I'm just going to stop by and just drop her off. And
You
then
should.
Just take
Yeah,
off.
we'll babysit.
What's her breed, Aaron?
She's a mini Australian Shepherd.
I have no idea what that is.
They're they usually don't have a tail. It's called a dock tail, which is technically I think they cut it. Or I'm not sure exactly, but she looks like a little herder dog. She's like 30 pounds and super smart, just great. But she's my best friend.
Both of my sisters have golden retrievers, so
cool.
Big into dogs.
Beautiful dogs.
Yes. And Paul, tell us about yourself.
I don't know. Well, what would you like to know, John?
Start with your website.
My website is pauldechambeau.com. And I have a YouTube page that kind of has some live performances of covers and originals, and my whole album is streamed up there. I say album, but CD, and the next one will be up there as well.
Now, what is the current album?
That's called Wonder.
Wonder. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The current album, the one before that.
Oh, the one that's out before that. That's
Yes.
called More Than Meets the Eye.
And then the one that's not out yet is called Wonder.
Is
and
Wonder,
that's
yeah.
dropping any day now.
Yeah. I just can't wait. I'm psyched to see it up there. But I have the CD. I burned it at my house, and so at least it's here. But I don't have the actual the streams up yet.
Cool. And we'll definitely be adding this into our rotation here. So you, Paul, have some upcoming gigs. I know a couple in February, one in March so far. Talk about those.
Upcoming, I'll be February 1st at Mamma Mia's in Carver. On February 7th, I'm heading on down to Marshfield to Cacades. And then on 3/13, or March 13th, I'll be at Crispy's in Bridgewater.
Awesome. And are those acoustic shows or are those band shows?
Those are all 3 solo shows, kind of small places. And, one of them is very tight, actually. But, it suffices,
Cool. And our mutual friend, Kevin Smith, who isn't here tonight, we won't tell you why, but how do you know Kevin?
I think I met him at open mic at the, can I say?
Sure.
At the House of Brews over in Stoughton. It's
Yes.
a really cool open mic every Thursday night. I met him over there. I did my original songs, and he played with me, and I was, I was hooked. Kevin's great.
Yes,
Great singer, too.
I'm gonna guilt him into coming back here eventually.
Good luck with that.
Exactly. I'm gonna need it. I think Kevin's shooting pool tonight, so that's why that's why he says he couldn't be here. But I think there's other reasons, but I won't go into those. So, Paul, talk about some of your influences.
Well, musically, I have a ton of influences, but my dad was always playing like the swing stuff around the house, and then I had a bunch of older siblings that played, Jay Giles, the Supremes, the Who, the Beatles, and then as I started to buy my own music and listen to stuff, I was into Tom Petty, Fleetwood Mac, Foreigner, Styx, Springsteen. And nowadays, by the way, Toad the Red Sprocket, I like to give them a message all the time. Nowadays, I really like country more than I used to. I like Keith Urban and, Luke Combs, people like that.
Awesome. Well, let's do some more music, Paul, and then we'll talk some more. What are we listening to next?
This is called You're Gonna Be Just Fine. It's about a love story that didn't quite work out.
Let's hear it. 95.9 WATD.
Can we do that again, possibly?
Sure.
All right. So sorry. I hope you pass the audition. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wednesday morning, you looked at me without a warning. You set me free, said love, we'll find you sometime. Suddenly broken, I sat there in space, just like a token. Time that was wasted with you, I felt out of place. I said maybe I could call you again sometime. You said, baby, sure you're gonna be just fine. I felt like a train jumped off its tracks. I gathered my things, all I could pack in this bag, with wheels and memories. My face was flushed and I felt ashamed. I don't know if I could remember my name anymore. You showed me the door. I said maybe I can call you again sometime. You said, baby, sure you're gonna be just fine. But it's been 3 years, but it seems like more, since we first met on a spinning dance floor. You crashed straight into me. I promised myself
on that first night that I'd never let you get out of my sight till you said you'd see me again. I said maybe I could call you again sometime. You said, baby, I'm sure you're gonna be just fine. That it's over. I can't understand why you led me on, and all that we planned, was it just a phase you went through? Out on the street, among passers-by, how bittersweet, with tears in my eyes, I just smile. All that I had, I said maybe I could call you again sometime. You said, baby, sure you're gonna be just fine. You said, baby, sure you're gonna be just fine.
Very cool. Paul DeChambeau on the tiny stage tonight on 95.9 WATD. Talk about how you wrote that song.
Well, it's in 3, which these guys who know more about that than me would say that, you know, that's a waltz. Somebody told me afterwards, hey, that's a waltz. I'm like, I didn't even know. I just started strumming these chords. I didn't even have the names for them. That's me, you know. And I said, that's really pretty. And then I don't know, the words just kind of come gradually, and then I get a theme, and I get an idea what it's about, and this one just felt like, you know, there's so many songs that go the other direction, so I thought this I just kind of pictured this like a guy who he thought he really had the one, and then it turned out he didn't, and it was like, so not a big deal for the other side of it, you know, she's just like, hey, yeah, you'll be fine, you know, but it was devastating to him.
When you're writing, Paul, how long does it typically take you to complete a song, on average?
Not that long. You know, there's been maybe a couple where I said, I need to revisit that because I just don't quite like the phrasing. But for the most part, I'd say a day or two, and sometimes just a day, you know. It's the trickiest thing sometimes is that sometimes you can't find an appropriate bridge. And what I decided to do, my adjustment was, if I don't have a good bridge, I just don't put a bridge in. You know, I try some other thing dynamically, but you know, and there's you know, I know it says, well, you got to have verse, chorus, bridge, but there's a lot of songs that are really constructed differently than that. So I just eased back and went with how it came out.
Now, once the song is complete to you, how then do you present it to the band and then work out all the arrangements?
Well, and you know, in the case with most of the people that play with me, it's usually guitarists, and they're all very talented. And I usually just have to give them the key. I mean, when we're playing out, you know, I don't expect them to recreate what I did. So I just want them to kind of be a musician and express themselves, and you know, and add something to the song. And they do a great job with that.
Now, do you ever go back and, once the song is written, ever go back and kind of look over it a second time and make some changes? Maybe, you know, change some words, change the music?
Yeah, I absolutely do. Yeah, you know, sometimes it's like there's a line you just say, that's just not really exactly what I want to say, or what should fit with the story. And so, sometimes a song that could happen. That could happen, months later. Actually, as long as I haven't registered it with the Library of Congress yet, then I still anything's possible. As a matter of fact, for the new album, I did change the lyrics for 2 or 3 songs, and I felt happy I did, actually.
Awesome. Now, the new album, I haven't heard it yet. Is it mostly a band album?
It's all by me, actually. I played everything on this.
That's
one.
awesome. Now, how did that happen?
Well, I just got a little bit better at the other instruments. I mean, I don't play a ton of instruments. I use a keyboard and mostly my right hand to play things like cello sections and French horns and strings and stuff like that, and that can sound really nice. And then I just play electric guitar and acoustic guitar, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm not to the level of Aaron and people like that, but I can add something that's a nice fit.
How long did it take you to put this whole project together?
That's a hard thing to say. Let me see. I would say like a month and a half of recording and mixing, like, constantly.
That's cool. And we're talking with Paul DeChambeau. And Paul, give us your website again, if you would.
Oh, it's pauldechambeau.com.
Awesome. And let's do another song if we can, although I think we're missing a guitar player.
We are. We had a little technical difficulty that he's helping me out with.
Oh, okay.
We're good now.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Live radio, always fun.
That's right. Yeah.
What are we listening to next?
We're going to do Like You Do. It's off the new album.
And talk us into this, if you would, Paul.
Well, I was up in Sturbridge, Mass, this summer with my wife and my mother-in-law and my wife's little brother, and they were by the lake, and I had my guitar, and I just was looking across the water at the trees gently swaying, and I was just basically, she's just being herself, which is to say that she's putting other people first. And that's what she was doing at that moment, and that's what the song is about. That's if everybody was like that, we'd have a lot nicer world.
All right, let's hear it. Paul DeChambeau on 95.9 WATD.
Gaze across the water while the trees gently sway. Thank the Lord that you're in my life today. I'm still amazed by your kindness and the beauty of your smile. I think I'd like to stay with you a while. We're always giving, it's never about you. A simple way of loving like you do. Like you do. Seem to know a little secret. You seem to glow from within. You're always there to help through thick and thin. You're always shining like a beacon. Your light shows the way. You brighten up the world every day. The way you're always giving, it's never about you. you do, like you do. People tell me that I'm lucky, like I don't already know. It's like trying to tell a snowman about the snow. I guess that's why I'm so thankful, more than anyone can know. You're part of me. I love you so. I love you so. We're always giving. It's never about you. A simple way of loving, like you do. Like you do, like you do. It's out.
Very nice. Paul DeChambeau and the band here on 95.9 WATD. Great job on that one, too.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Introduce the band again, if you would. They sounded great on that tune.
Over in the upright bass, we have Greg Monero, Stonehill's finest, and we have Aaron Carey on guitar.
Awesome. And who's on drums?
Charlie is on drums. Yeah.
223.
Awesome. That thing sounds pretty cool. I think this is the first time I've had a drum machine on this show, so sounding cool.
I'm happy to be the one, I guess, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Not everybody is a fan of them, I will say, but to each his own.
Well, it's not disco, so that's always good.
Yeah. I just think it's fun to have have a beat,
I think people would be surprised how many albums they love are actual drum machines.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If you like Hysteria by Def Leppard especially, that's an obvious one, though.
Yes. We are coming up to our second time up, but I think we have time for another song before we get to that point, Paul. What are we listening to next?
Okay, cool. This is called Sail Away. And since you're probably going to ask, I am not a sailor. This is more a metaphor song about wanting to leave some situation to some other situation. I'll put it that way.
Sounds good. Let's hear it. Paul DeChambeau and the band here on 95.9 WATD on the tiny stage. It's all yours.
There's a place somewhere out there where freedom can be found, and I can feel it calling to me. The music's all around. Sail away, if I could sail away. Leave taking what I could. Sail away, riding on the wind, to find a way to live the life I should. Like a square peg in a round hole, sometimes it just don't fit. Tired of waiting and second guessing. I know now this is it. Sail away, if I could sail away. I'd leave today, taking what I could. Sail away, riding on the wind, to find a way to live the life I should. Sees you in all your colors. That's just the way it goes. But they can't hold me. I'm growing stronger. And if the right wind blows, I'd sail away if I could sail away. I'd leave today, taking what I could. Sail away, if I could sail away. I'd leave today, taking what I could. Sail away, riding on the wind, find a way to live the life I should.
Fantastic.
Hey, get your boat ready.
Paul DeChambeau on 95.9 WATD. Great job on that.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
We are up against our final timeout of the night, but I think we have time for one more song. Does that work for you?
Yeah, sure. Love it.
All right. You're listening to Almost Famous on 95.9 WATD. And we have more with Paul DeChambeau live on the tiny stage right after this quick look at the forecast. Meteorologist Rob Gilman, how's it looking out there?
The South Shores radio station, 95.9 WATD.
And welcome back to Almost Famous on 95.9 WATD. We are on the tiny stage tonight. My name is John Shea, and we introduce you to independent bands and musicians every Tuesday night from 8 to 10, right here on 95.9 WATD and 95.9WATD.com. And coming up momentarily, we have Mike Joshua with Americana-Rama. That's coming up at 10 o'clock, taking you till 1 a.m. with more great music here on 95.9 WATD. But for the moment, we are on the tiny stage with Paul DeChambeau. How's it going in there?
It's going well. We're having a blast. Thank you so much for having us.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming to the South. Well, you live on the South Shore. Thank you for traveling further up the South Shore.
Yeah, not too far.
So for those who missed the first part of the show, Paul, give us another introduction as to who you are.
I'm a singer-songwriter. I don't know. When you say that, it sounds like a certain type of music, but I write songs and I'm a singer. Let's put it that way. I'm from Whitman. My dad was a tenor sax player, and I think when I eventually got around to it, I I developed somewhat in his footsteps, but he was quite talented, and I wish he was around to. Even though I don't think he'd like to stop music, I wish he could hear a couple songs from me. That would be great. But
and you have one album out and one on the way.
Yes, yeah, yep. The other one should be out in probably a week. I would say it should be up on all your streaming sites.
Awesome. Remind us of the name of both albums, if you would.
The one that's coming out now is called Wonder, and the first one was More Than Meets the Eye. Fantastic.
And any big plans coming up for 2020 besides the album release?
Well, I'm going to try to get into sync licensing. I've got a lot to learn, and feel free to give me any tips you have any. But yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do, and start working on my third release.
Cool, and a couple of upcoming shows as well.
Yes, I'm at the Garden. No, I'm just kidding. February 1st, I'm at Mamma Mia's in Carver. February 7th, I'll be at Cacades in Marshfield. And then March 13th, I'll be at Crispy's, a nice little Italian restaurant in Bridgewater.
Awesome. And give the band a shout-out, too. Who do we have in studio with you this evening?
We have the talented Greg Monero on upright bass. We're lucky to have him. And we have also the uber-talented Aaron Carey on electric guitar and a massive pedal board.
And for one last time, a guilt trip for Kevin Smith, who couldn't be here tonight.
Yeah, sometimes people just let you down. I don't know, man. No, Kevin's great, and I totally, I
understand. He's a busy guy.
Yeah, no, I thank him for making the connection between me and you.
Fantastic. I thank you too, Kevin, because I wouldn't know about Paul's music without Kevin, so thank you so much. We have time for one last song before we wrap things up and send things over to Mike Josh. So what are you taking us up to 10 o'clock with?
It's called Beautiful World. As I said, the last album was a little more serious. Some of the songs, not all of them, but this one is a little more serious. It's kind of like my wish for how some things could be better, and some of the things that we could do better at.
Fantastic, Paul. Thank you again. The band, thank you again. Greg and Aaron, and let's hear the song. 95.9 WATD. The tiny stage is yours.
Well, thank you so much to John and Kevin and WATD. 1, 2, 3, 4.
To live in a beautiful world, would you give for a beautiful world? Would you try to do a little bit more? Will you smile as you stepped out the door? Is there a place where a friend is a friend, and there aren't too many fences to mend? Isolation, leaving people behind. Leave a message, 'cause I ain't got the time texting words. Someone far away to someone close, you ain't got nothing to say. Beautiful world, want to live in a beautiful world. Would you give for a beautiful world? Would you choose a cause that cannot pay? Will you change before Judgment Day? It's hard to care when it's not about you. It's hard to dare when there's so much to lose. It's hard to find enough water for all. They're clearing forests while you shop at a mall. Stupid greed, politicians lie, money's green, but it's still not a lie. Beautiful world, what to live in a beautiful world? Would you give for a beautiful world? Would you speak those that cannot say that they'd rather be nude in a spade? 6,000 dogs put to sleep every day. You're breeding more like you want it this way. Empathy, it's getting hard to find. People dying, but no one knows why. People kill because they're empty inside, need a thrill. Now there's nowhere to hide. Beautiful world, world's running down. Been looking for some answers that cannot be found. Truth is on the rise in the cities and the towns. The earth's been screaming, but you can't make a sound. Want to live in a beautiful world. Wish I could live in a beautiful world. Want to live like you finally care enough to do one good thing before you leave this world behind.